Alright, what's going on? I'm back with another video, and this one I think you're going to find pretty damn funny. It's a very bizarre thing that I tried to do, which is follow people in black helicopters. It's unarmed, which kind of further adds to this type of derangement. This deranged nature that you're looking at because it's a helicopter that you've no idea why it's following you, it's not trying to kill you. And I wanted to see how people would react. Of course, there are many cliches about the black helicopter. Alex Jones, Goodfellas, the helicopter that follows him. I think it's kind of like at the end of the film. So I begin to descend on random people, and they really have no idea what's happening. Now, you're watching this and you may think to yourself, oh, come on, be realistic now. This is just a guy playing the game. This is just a guy that you are following. But he has no idea that he's being followed. It's just not the case. Watch as time progresses how crazy these players become. They start to try to hide under bridges. You can tell that their mental state begins to erode. It's hilarious to watch because what ends up happening is they start to try all these new tactics, like they'll change into a different vehicle. They'll try to take out a rocket launcher, but when I'm hovering directly over top, they can't do it. I think in first person maybe you could, but most people don't do that. They stay in third person, don't realize that there is an actual possibility. Maybe you couldn't do it in first person, I don't know. So this guy takes off, goes into the city, he gets off the exit here, and almost loses control, but manages to slide right into the hospital. So he hides under there. I thought what was going to happen was he's going to come out with a rocket launcher. Usually that's what they do. Or he was going to come out with a minigun. That, for whatever reason, seems like a better choice because they don't need to take the time to lock on. Instead, he flew out the other side, and now he starts to creep around the alleyways. Yeah, you'll see that now. He goes through the alleyways and eventually he realizes that the attempt is futile. What I can't get over is if someone were to be following me in a helicopter, I don't know how I would respond. I really don't. I'd probably respond in the same way. We're all human. We all share the same behaviors, but to believe that I've done this to people that were driving around with their buddies, driving around with just by themselves or completely idle, and none of them can let it go. I think that they enjoy it personally because it's such a different encounter. You never see this stuff happen. Usually you're getting blown up or shot at, and it's like, oh, okay, more of the same. But with this person specifically, or this person, these people in general, they allow it to completely override whatever it is that they were doing. Whatever it is that they were doing is now put on the back burner because this random guy in a helicopter is following them. And it instantly puts forth this sense of paranoia. They're like, why am I being followed? Of all people in the game, why me? So he tries to take a few shots here. It doesn't work. Kind of respect him for not using the rocket launcher. That's why I think there was a part of him that was trying to play along. People like to have attention put on them, especially when you're not being blown up or killed. They like the attention on them when it's something a little more benign. Yeah, so he backs up the car and again tries to find another spot that he could hide in. Now remember how I said they become more and more crazy as time goes on? Look, losing control, that happens constantly. Where when you first start following them, it's these small calculated movements. They're driving slowly. They try to go through the alleyways. And the longer the chase gets, the more they start crashing. And that's when they really start to lose it. I think he changed into a Bugatti, the Chiron. Whips around here and into the construction site. Construction site, I didn't even think of that. That was a good move. They're not trying to lose you in it. Like, they don't expect that you're just going to fly away and, hit a crane. They try to think of a way where it's like, okay, well, I went in this way. He expects I'm going to come out the same way, but I'm actually going to go out the back. There he is again. I think he tries shooting up. Shooting up at the helicopter. I don't mean, he's down there doing H because he can't take the stress. Probably thinks I'm trying to reach him about like a car's extended warranty. Hey man, I saw you crash. Need help? And this is where it finally concludes as he changes into the F-35 Lightning II. Quickly begins to ascend, much faster than I can. And I jump out and I bail. That didn't bother me because I really was curious to see how it is that these types of events would unfold. I was thinking to myself, how is this going to finally conclude? I've seen videos of people doing stuff like following pedestrians or following police helicopters, but that's not a real person. That's an NPC. These are real people. And I want to see what their breaking point is. What the point is where they go, okay, you know what? I've come to a solution. I know how I can get rid of this freak. This fella right here on the bridge went into immediate meltdown mode, which was very funny. No more than 15 seconds of hovering above him, and you already see him rapidly cycling through the weapon wheel. I think he took out a minigun first. I can't tell. They're all these very large metallic guns. Probably the rail gun or something. And after he realizes that he can't shoot me, he starts trying to run in both directions, hoping he can get an angle on me. And he can't. It's weird because if you were to present to someone this hypothetical, what would you do if you're being chased by a helicopter? They'd just say, I'd shoot them down. But then they realize, oh, I can't. And it makes them feel very out of control, which further leads to this type of craziness. This guy was his own worst enemy. He got on a motorcycle, which was the worst choice of vehicle he could have picked. And he starts shooting at me. But his speed boost is set so high that anytime he tries to take off in different directions, he just keeps crashing. Yeah, I think he wrecked there. This is the part that I found to be hilarious. It was almost out of a comedy skit. Where you'll see in the next clip, not that car. Another police van comes from around the corner. This wasn't a coordinated effort. I had no idea who this guy was. But you gotta think, what is going through this person's head that's being chased where they're being cornered? Where, they were minding their own business, standing in the middle of the street, nobody was bothering them. And all of a sudden, they're on America's Most Wanted. The suspect makes a daring escape through the city court. He's got to wonder what is happening. Of all people, I can't see because the screen's small, but there were like 200 people in this game or something. Maybe more, like maybe 270 at one point. We're out of 270 people, however many. This guy is being stalked. It really is gang stalking. I find it to be very interesting, this human behavior. The conclusion of this one was actually a little wholesome. I appreciated it. Again, he crashes there. Oh man. I hope this guy is a cat in the real world, because he needs like 9 lives. He killed himself 4 times in 30 seconds. At the end, he just starts dancing. And you can see I make a fool of myself by crashing. But that was kind of it. We said, okay, you're not running anymore. You're dancing, and I can appreciate that. But as long as we've reached a conclusive result, I was happy. This guy, I think he's in a McLaren. You'll see when he gets out later the way the doors open. He was ripping. I had a lot of fun with this just because how cool it looked. You can't even see the motorcycles. Pretty good driver. But when you're under stress, those motor skills seem to degrade quite quickly. Again, tries to hide under the bridge. Third guy in a row that doesn't. I had so many more clips that didn't end well. They were just boring, or I lost them. But they all try to do the bridge thing. This is where he takes off. You can see the speed boost kick in. The way the car just jolts forward. Man, he was ripping on that street. Unfortunately, he picked the one road that goes back directly into my sights. This is a cool shot here. You're going to see a jet fly underneath me. Beautiful shot. Didn't orchestrate that. This looks very cool. He crashes. I don't know how he... I think he's trying to avoid... Yeah, so I think his wing hit the bridge or something. I don't know. You hear the explosion now. And here's this guy. I hover over top of him briefly. He's trying to gather his thoughts. What is this dude doing? You'll see the door open. That's why I said I thought it was a McLaren. You can see the way the door opens up. I ascend, and he realizes, okay, I can't get him. I was following this guy for much longer, too. But he was in like 20 different vehicles, so I just picked the most concise clip that you could see. Goes back up onto the main road through that little trail there. He got me in a good spot. You'll see how this ends. He got me in a very good spot where he ended up winning. So he's going into the parking lot, realizes it's a dead end, tries to get out again. And I think, yeah, you see the rockets firing up. There are points in these chases where you're telling yourself, I don't think he even cares anymore. And then the car gets very fast, the vehicle starts changing, and the rockets start flying up. And it's like, oh no, they just have no idea what to do. You can see this guy's losing his mind. And, I said he was a good driver. I'm starting to take that back now. And here we go. This is where I should have accelerated a little bit more over top of him. And I didn't. And here it is. He gets out. I put myself in the wrong position. And boom. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this study on human behavior in Grand Theft Auto Online.